A rainy Saturday night here at Coyer Field on the campus of Buff State College as Chantilly Forever FC prepares to play host here to FCY New York. Chantilly searching for their first victory here in their third contest of the season. FCY New York coming in on the heels of their first victory of the season, looking to go above 500 here to 2-1. They expect slick conditions, rain intermittently throughout the evening, impacting here on the turf field, the beautiful redone field here on the campus of Buff State College. A tough task here for Chantilly. Main goal for them is to find more offense. Just one goal in 2 games coming in here. An FCY New York team that has stymied opposing offenses will be a tall task for them to crack the code. Good crowd here in spite of the weather conditions here on what has been a long and rainy weekend here already in the western New York region with no immediate signs of a let-up. You can see the Chantilly Forever FC players on the bench, crowded under the tent as well. Both anthems today for Chantilly Forever FC, representing both sides of the border here. Buffalo, the southernmost Canadian city, some would call it. Home side Chantilly Forever FC today in the black and red uniforms. Visiting FCY New York will be wearing the white uniforms, red shorts with the red numbers and letters on the back. Both teams with some younger players accompanying them here also for the introduction of the starters and handshake line before the game.
Jeff, as I noted earlier, these young boys were out there practicing. They had a little scrimmage. The parents are right below us cheering on the Chantilly team. And the Chantilly team home base, Hamilton, Canada, Ontario. And they brought that beautiful national anthem from Canada with them. Always happy to hear it.
Wish they could have brought a little bit of more warmth down from north of the border here as well, but any weather is soccer weather here, and considering what the forecast was here truly for the Saturday night, I think we're on the lucky side of it. So a little bit drizzly, was dreary all day long, but we, for the large part, have avoided the majority of the rain that was in the forecast here today and hope to continue to do so here as both teams get ready. Here in our first half, Chantilly Forever FC will be shooting the net down to broadcast right, and FCY New York on the net to broadcast left.
Well, Jeff, I was talking to the Chantilly coach, and I had mentioned we had done a FC Gunners game just earlier last week, and we talked about the formation and a little bit about what his club's all about. He's had a lot of injuries. This is the first game where he's got the majority of his starters starting. And I'd mentioned I liked the physicality that they came out with against the Gunners, but it seemed like they just kind of ran out of gas. So I call them a very physical team. We'll see if they present it that way today, and this kind of weather probably will help them out.
It does equalize a lot of the speed and the nature of the game here. Tough start to the season, the first 2 games for Chantilly Forever FC, but still so much of the season yet ahead of them here, and plenty of time to get a corner turned here on the Saturday night. We mentioned coming in to our broadcast here. Just 1 goal in 2 games here for Chantilly Forever FC versus 7 conceded. Meanwhile, FCY New York has scored 5 and conceded 3 and split their first 2 games of the season, coming on the heels of their first victory and looking to ride that wave of momentum here into tonight's contest.
Coach Perrin of Chantilly, very positive man. I love the way he was talking about his young players. And to your point, early in the season right now, they're really just looking to get some traction and stay consistent. He said this is the game that we want to start really focusing on consistency.
Chantilly Forever FC will start with the ball here in our first half. That is Troy Bromfield standing over the ball, waiting for the referee's signal. First of our 2 45-minute halves here this afternoon. Coyer Field on the campus of Buff State College here in Buffalo, New York. Our officials have taken position, syncing up their watches here. We'll see how Chantilly Forever FC pushes the pace here early on, trying to get themselves off on the right foot here in their 3rd contest of the season, which is now underway. Ball's played at the field here near side. Bigermana. Let across, tab back. Trying to find a way through here early on. Teams meeting for the first time this season, very much feeling each other out here, you would expect, early on in the contest. Good deep pass up the right side. Ball is not going to get the check up there. And one other thing to think about here with the wet field here today, those balls, especially back towards the touchline, they are going to have a little extra pace. They're not going to slow up, and that one rolls out the back for a goal kick.
And this is known for as a field that does run fast, even in the dry weather.
Andy Queen getting the starting goal for FCY New York here today.
Well, somebody who really should know this field is Andy, being a Buff State grad.
We'll get this back into play here with the first goal kick of the evening. Good distance on that goal kick from Andy Queen. Bouncing ball is headed down and recollected here by Ali Shawish. Up the 9 side, Saif. Ali Mohammed back in towards Shawish. Is chested down loose in the 6-yard box. Appeals for a offsides, and they are answered by the far side official, who blows the play dead. And a dangerous first look offensively for FCY New York. Had the Chantilly Forever FC defense scrambling a bit there in their own end, but bailed out ultimately by the far side official's flag. That one is played out on the far side. Will stay with Chantilly there for a throw.
So talking to Coach Hash, longtime Western New York coach, former coach of Canisius, had his own club, the Black Watch team. In any case, he wants to come out in a 4-4-2. Said we really want to control that mid. We'd like to try to get up, get a quick goal early. They almost did, a little offside, but a great save, even if it wasn't offside. So far so good for the Western New York. FC New York.
In spite of the end result, a very positive first foray down into the box there as well. Get a couple of looks, create a little bit of chaos, a little bit of defensive disjunction there on the Chantilly side.
And that's exactly what Chantilly is trying to avoid. Talking to Coach Perrin, we really want to try to get that first goal. Not getting the first goal in either game has set them back a little bit mentally.
Well, just the mentality of being able to play from ahead instead of playing from behind and feel like you're chasing time and time again would certainly be a big boon to any positive results here for Chantilly today. It's going to be a handball there in midfield. We saw there on that second throw, the official threw the ball over to the scores table to be dried and took a new one. So we'll see if they're going to keep trying to cycle out, try to keep the ball as fresh, as dry as possible here today. It'll be a free kick on the friendly side of midfield here for FCY New York. Taken by Shawish up the far sideline. That one is rolling just inside the 18-yard box, but good job turning that one around back the other way by Ruganua. Tested on the far side, and that ball will go out. We'll stay with Chantilly for a throw. Just a couple of minutes into our first half here. FCY New York enjoying a early look call back on offsides, but other than that, these teams still very much feeling each other out. Ultimately a free kick there on a foul given on the far side, not a throw. Knocked down there by Akinwumi. Back across midfield there. Tahiri. Chantilly forever getting that ball switched quickly side to side, trying to stretch out the FCY New York defense here in midfield so far. There's a lot of space up at that near sideline. Calling for it and getting it here is Bigermana. Slave. Tahiri. Patience on the press forward here from Chantilly. That one is off a leg. Will stay with Chantilly forever here. A throw now fairly deep into FCY New York territory, and we'll see how much they press that back line here. Every single Chantilly forever player minus the keeper within 45 yards now of goal. Slave, his entry attempt across is headed away, knocked down and taken back here. Good job collapsing defensively by FCY New York. They have a man in behind. Play is onside. Players coming together, looking to peel on the far side for a whistle. That is not forthcoming. Had a half step there in behind the Chantilly defense. The referee right on top of it said no call to be made.
No call, play on.
Andy Queen scoops it up and rolls it back here near side as FCY New York with another good look there early on. Good results here for the visiting side here today. Right back across midfield they go. It's been very physical in the midfield and on that far sideline especially as it rolls out here for a New York throw.
And early on we can really see FCY New York. They love the counter. They're countering early in any case for this game. And knowing Jim, that's going to be a staple of their offense.
First pass ahead is bounced right back to the foot there of Ali Shawoosh, who plays it back far side. Clearing attempt headed down, comes back. The ball bouncing friendly here for the visitors. Rolls out towards the back line and will be an early corner here for FCY New York, the first of the match. Given to the visitors, and we'll get our first look here at a set piece here. About 6 minutes into our opening half here. Corner to be taken from the far side. Bodies in motion, ball curling back towards the back of the box. Bounce around towards the far side post. They score! And great off-ball movement gives FCY New York a great look at our first goal. And the visitors have an early 1-0 lead.
Just a great corner. Right at head level. I couldn't quite see who got that hand on it, but as you mentioned, as soon as that ball hit the turf, that off his head, great movement right into goal and just a real easy chip in.
It's great time and great placement of that cross off the corner kick. They had the Chantilly defense again, much like we saw in that first foray in. As FCY New York takes a very early advantage here. Adam Seif, number 22, getting that last touch on the goal that will give the visitors an early lead. And just like we talked about, Paul, what they were trying to avoid, Chantilly Forever FC now chasing and trailing early on in this contest, not getting that first goal. A collision and a takedown here on the near side, and we'll see if there's a little further discussion off of that. A good solid grab there. As Shariki gets taken down here on the near side, will be a free kick. Nothing further in terms of discussion from our head official here today.
So for Chantilly Forever, stay in the formation, stay true to who you are, and you know that 1-0 can become a 1-1 with heads-up play coming in right here.
A lot of time still, even in our first half at this point, so certainly no need to press the panic button yet, but you wonder if the mentality does shift a little bit here. And good early start here for the visiting sideline. Bouncing ball here, contested, comes back near side. A lot of Chantilly Forever players almost coming together on that ball. It's knocked out near side for a Chantilly throw. Bigermana will trigger it back in here. Lost the grip there. The ball rolling over the track here that surrounds the field and certainly picking up a good bit of moisture. And ultimately, was called for an infraction, will allow FCY New York to get it right back in. Players coming together on that near sideline, rolls out of bounds, and we'll see what the call was there. It might be a free kick here. Indeed, it will, as charging up ahead was Whitman Hernandez there for FCY New York, who won a good position. Coming right together there with Akinwumi defensively for Chantilly. Akinwumi getting up a little frustrated. The official there thought the contact had been initiated entirely by the New York attackman. Long throw into the 18-yard box from the near sideline. Overhead. Attempted a bicycle kick there, but too many bodies in the way. Ball is still loose just inside the 18-yard box, and finally from a scramble does get out, at least for now, away from clear and present danger to the far sideline. Tapped and kept in. And right back on the attack. Here comes FCY New York. Good space in the middle if they can find it. That one off the leg comes back inside. Ali Shawish trying to turn himself around. To his left boot, still with it to the near side, and there's too many bodies in the way there. Chantilly's defense doing a good job swarming back and taking it away from FCY New York, if only for a moment. Visiting sideline buoyed on the heels of that opening goal have kept the Chantilly team pinned back efficiently here these last few moments. Back again comes FCY New York. An overhead play away from Channer. Tap down. Israel Perrin over there defensively for Chantilly. Goes back to the far sideline, kept in here. FCY New York able to drag it through, still has it. Crossing attempt is headed down and out of danger there by Ahmed Mohammed, and does make its way back here to midfield. A quick chance for the Chantilly defense to catch their breath, as FCY New York has been trying to slice and dice them here these last couple of moments. Ali Shawish in midfield. His pass ahead hits off a friendly leg, bounces back. Referee playing advantage. Pass comes back near side, but is quickly knocked back down, and that advantage goes away as quickly as it showed up. Distance pass trying to get in behind the FCY New York defense, but it rolls towards the sideline and out for a throw.
Very impressive FCY New York with their ball movement and their off-ball movement. They're moving forward. They're attacking. Nobody's standing still. Nice-looking offense. Good defense. Leads to good defense also.
It's been that off-ball movement that feels like it's been contributing so significantly to their time of possession. They have just been presenting so many options for players coming forward. They can keep that kind of effort going up all day. It may be a long day defensively for Chantilly. Defensively here is Saif, who had the opening goal, plays that ball ahead. Ball contested down, taken here. Ahmed Mohammed for Chantilly on the far sideline. Pressure, trying to get himself away from Shawish on the far side. Those two coming together, still fighting for it. Ball is still just in, and Shawish takes it away. Ali's pass across will not find anyone, rolls out the back, and will be a goal kick. And Shawish has been involved early and often here, making the life of Braden Flores difficult in goal here today for Chantilly forever. His first goal kick here of the day. About 12 minutes in of a player adjusting some equipment here at midfield, so a bit of a slight pause has been allowed. Wish might have had that cleat stepped on in the process. That last attack forward. As Flores brings us back into play. Bergamana. Back ahead to him one more time. Taps ahead. Shariki. Good strong play on the ball taken forward. Nice trap pass there by Slade. Has a man on the end of it on the outskirts of the 18-yard box. Turning around is Bromfield. Bromfield's pass across in front. It's off the inside of the leg of its man, and it's knocked out the back for a corner kick. Perrin got a leg to it, tried to get his left leg somehow behind himself to drag it forward, made some contact on his way, ultimately himself into the net, but the ball would not follow. First corner of the match here for Chantilly forever on their best look of the evening.
Great athletic play, beautiful pass, and as you mentioned, he actually hits the ball with his back leg trailing. Just missed going into the goal and tying this up 1-1.
High arcing cross to the backside of the box is headed down. Dangerous position. That one hits off a leg of a defender and off the crossbar. Out the back for corner number 2. as all of a sudden the Chantilly offense has come to life. A nice look there taken by Tahiri, hit off the knee of a defender and almost went in behind Andy Queen.
And look how much one great attempt really has raised the level of their offense, their emotion, and now Chantilly is hoping to tie this up 1-1 again.
Second look at the corner, this one arcing back towards the near side. It's off a couple of bodies, it's still loose, and that will roll out for corner number 3 as it pinballed around there. Set piece is really the story here of the opening part of the first half. FCY New York scoring off their lone corner, and now Chantilly Forever getting a trio already of looks here from the set piece. As Antonio Slabe, who took the last one from over here, will make his journey back for another look here, see if they can't replicate a little bit of the magic. High arcing ball towards the back half of the box again. That one comes down, bodies coming together, appeals for a penalty. Referee right on top of it says play on, and FCY New York has cleared it out of the box and tried to go quickly back the other way. That far side of the field is wide open, and here come the visitors back up that far side. Hussein Omar, his pass in the middle, a sliding play to knock it away. Strong defensive play there from Diego Valdez. Chantilly does a good job getting back there now, and they will reset after their best offensive moments of the match. A few quality looks, a couple shots towards goal, one denied by the Iron Unkind. In midfield now for FCY New York, it's Albari. Albari across midfield away from a sliding challenge there, taken right back by Chantilly. FCY New York's speed has not been entirely negated here by the weather today. That pass entirely negated by the official, and that will lead to a quick whistle here. We'll reset possession in the midfield here for the visitors.
It's a great statement, Jeff. You can see how fast FCY New York really is. Probably the reason they love to counter, they really have some speed up top.
Off the drop ball there as the referee blowing it dead on contact with the pass. We're about 60 minutes in here to our opening half, and happy that you've taken part of your Saturday evening spending it here with us. Beautiful give and go, read well defensively, but the danger not yet cleared. On the far side, a good look, able to drag it through, does. Players forward, shot on save, and a second save as well. Second one would have been offsides. It is a save for Flores and did not cover the rebound, but even had he not made the save, which he did, it would have been blown dead. Second time we've seen FCY New York called for an offsides here in our opening half. Almost a little bit too much speed in spite of themselves getting a little bit ahead of the play at points here today. Back towards midfield. Antonio Slabe has been very involved, and there is a foul call almost directly on the midfield stripe there. And Slabe slowly back to his feet. He's been involved not just running the offense through him from the midfield, but also involved on those set pieces. Quickly goes far side. We see Chantilly try to do this, try to really move that defense side to side, try to create some gaps up the middle to press that ball through. They had one good look right before those corner kicks, and there's a foul on the far side. A push called there on, that's Rugonoa, number 13 there for Chantilly.
So for the folks at home, what I usually call this type of play, bringing the ball up on the sides, a lot of times people think you just kick it forward and you run to it. Well, what I like to see is that horizontal passing to move forward. Sounds kind of backwards when you say it. Do it horizontal to move forward, but it really it really opens the width of this field. It's very, very wide and opens up some gaps. And Chantilly's really good at doing that in the first two-thirds of the field. Unfortunately for them, right now, they're still trying to figure out that bottom part, how to get that ball into the net.
When you think about it, there's only 10 men out there to defend. The farther apart they are, the more room you're creating for yourself by using that horizontal passing. There's a beautiful pass forward here as Shawish runs into it here. A lot of room to be had here for New York. From the near side, Shawish trying to curl that pass, and it's knocked away from him at the last moment, and he's slowly back to his feet and coming in onside with a lot of room ahead of him. Coming charging ahead is Troy Bromfield. Bromfield down the line to his right, still with it towards the touchline, across in front, he scores!
What a shot.
You thought it out for sure. From an impossible angle, Bromfield finds an early equalizer that sends a charge through the home crowd. And early on here in our first half, back level at 1.
Every time I think I know something, I realize I really don't. I keep thinking, you got to hold the ball, wait for your team to catch up, wait for your team to catch up. Instead, just takes that really strange angle shot, which I've always told kids that I've been associated with, don't worry, the ball has eyes. Take that shot when you think you can get it. And that was a first class goal.
You wonder how he was even able to find a shot there. Not just the keeper there, but 2 defenders blanketing him as well on that beautiful run forward, but rewarded for taking that shot. Maybe one as a coach, you grimace for a moment until you see where it's going, and gets the perfect result here in some early offense. We talked about Chantilly needing the first goal, which they didn't get, but they do still get an early goal here. And we'll see if that can buoy their offense and buoy their mentality here. Still over 60 minutes remaining here in our contest today.
You know, in basketball, that's what the coach is saying. Don't do that, don't do that. Oh, great shot. Same thing in soccer. Don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. But, you know, goal scorers, forwards, they just want to get that ball off their foot. He had about I always say the ball's about a foot wide. He had about a foot. He just struck it perfectly, put it right in.
There's another beautiful pass going forward on that far sideline, but a little bit too far out ahead of Diego Valdez and Andy Queen. We'll scoop that one up and roll it forward here for FCY New York. So some good pushback here from Chantilly Forever FC after FCY New York opened the scoring here not even 10 minutes into the contest. We see Chantilly come back with some good looks that weren't rewarded with goals, and then that last effort here rewarded by Troy Bromfield's goal.
Yeah, you know, I've been watching Troy for the last couple times we've seen him. I just love the way he's aggressive with the ball. He's a tall player, so, you know, it takes him a moment to get to speed, but he's tough to get the ball away from. He's got long legs, and he's very, very aggressive.
There's that physicality that really won the day. Shawus got taken down there, gets back to his feet, gets taken down again, and that is in a dangerous position for the referee's hand to come up. He may have just been outside of the box. If he was, it was just the back of his heel. At the very least, a dangerous spot for a free kick coming here for FCY New York as they try to push the offense back in what was already a very physical contest. Like we talked about, it might be in the open, has become much more so here after these 2 goals.
Yep, you know, the emotions are high. So players at each team, no way. He was inside that box, sir. Players on the defensive side, no, he was nowhere near there, and there wasn't a penalty. So I think the referee just kind of, you know, splits it in 2, puts it right on top of the 18, and that's a tough ball to defend.
Well, Shawish number 7 here for FCY New York will have a golden opportunity here. Shawish, that one blocked down by the wall in front of Flores, rolls out near side, and they will just drive that one out for a throw-in as they'll get to reset their defense here. Try to curl it around the far side of that wall and just got under it a little bit there. That ball had rotated one more time towards the goal, it would have been inside the box. So lucky positioning there ultimately for Chantilly. The referees largely here in this game have let them play on through the majority of the contact that we've seen both ways. We'll see if that continues to be true here as the evening goes on.
And just below us, I don't know if the fans at home can hear it. There's somebody with a drum. Maybe there's 2 of them. You just get so excited in these soccer games when you hear that kind of emotion coming out of the fans. It just just transcends right down to the players. And we've seen Chantilly in the last couple minutes really, really raise their game.
And they've brought that home crowd back to life. Walking through them to get to the press box here today. Good energy to be had in spite of the dreary weather. The fans not stymied by that, coming out in good numbers and with good spirits here today to will on their side to what would be their first victory of the season. Ball is on the far side and will stay in. Turning around with it here is Ruganurwa. Late ahead, still dangerous. Chantilly has had some troubles at points getting out of their own end when they've been pinned back like this. That may help. There's going to be a call on a grab there as charging ahead was Antonio Slabe, who took a bit of a bump there from Shawush. And ultimately actually has earned himself a yellow card in the process. So first booking of the match there, and the old announcers jinx alive and well. We just talked about them letting them play through most everything, and the next contact we see is a yellow card given to number 7 there for FCY New York.
Sometimes I wonder when you are very, very, I'll say easygoing with players, sometimes it gives that message that, anything will go, which can lead to injury or could be a difficult thing, and then the referee decides, okay, we got to tighten it up.
Got to rein it back in a little bit here, try to keep the physicality under control as much as you can. We'll restart back into play here off that free kick as it comes all the way back here to Braden Flores, who plays forward. Swung back near sideline, tap down, almost getting away there from Akinwumi on the near sideline. It's going to be difficult at points there with how this ball will roll. And like you mentioned, Paul, it's already a fast surface. It will be only faster as the rain continues to pick up throughout the course of the game. See a couple of turnovers caused possibly by that, if the weather can be a factor in a big moment for either of these offenses on a defender missing a ball like that. Not the case here, though, as Chantilly Forever continues pushing forward. Bergamana knocked away from him. Strong defensive play there by Ali Mohammed for FCY New York. Press back forward. Ball dragged behind just a little bit, but it's collected by Shawoosh. Beautiful ball on the far side. Lot of space to be had. Charging forward is Mohammed Saif. Saif curls that one back in, looking for the near side post, and that one just rolls wide out the back for a goal kick. A beautiful foray forward and a pass there by Ali Shawoosh, and Saif with a good look, just a little bit wide.
And Saif really just the perfect shot as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people are always saying, oh, he missed the goal. Well, he's shooting for that backside. He just missed it. That is probably the easiest place to put that ball in, even though, sometimes we say it's 18 yards wide. Why can't they just score a lot? Well, it's very difficult, but that angle that he took was the proper one. He was just trying to push it inside the far post and just missed it.
Creating a scenario where the only outcomes are goal kick or goal. No way Flores is going to be able to get a hand onto that one from where he shot it from. Off the goal kick, reset forward here. Chantilly Forever, after a tough first 8-9 minutes, have really settled in nicely here in our first half. About 26 minutes gone by. There was a foul there on FCY New York on the Chantilly-friendly side of midfield.
Jeff, and an old coach friend of mine used to say, he would tell his forwards, keep shooting. Everyone you miss is on me. Every goal you get, you'll never forget. And
Sure.
I think on offense, that's what you have to do. You forget about the ones you miss.
That one played back towards the touchline. May have been contacted last. Indeed, was contacted last by the defense there of FCY New York, and already the fourth corner of the match here for Chantilly. They've had some good looks off some of these here so far. We'll see if they can get another look here. Diego Valdez, number 15, is taking the corners, at least so far, for Chantilly from the far side of the field. He'll settle there for this one. And drives a high arcing cross back towards the top of the box. It bounces down once and is cleared out of the 18-yard box. And now up to the near sideline there. There's a tough collision there. And we'll see if we have another booking coming up here. We do. It's a yellow card. That's going to be Akinwumi, number 5, who retreats back in spite of the appeals there from his teammates.
Yeah, that was definitely a little knee-on-knee there. That's a dangerous collision. I'm sure it wasn't done on purpose, but the purpose of the yellow card is really to make that player think about getting that kind of contact again and not to do it.
It's about penalizing the action, not so much the result, as both players are up, because you have to be in control of all parts of your body there at all points, even if you didn't mean to go knee-on-knee. It's your responsibility to avoid doing so. You see them a lot in plays like that where everyone's trying to scramble for a ball coming off a set piece or something like that. Chantilly right back on the friendly side of midfield, and the physicality of this game just continues to ramp up. A cleat right on the back of the heel, and another whistle. And after a near whistle-less first 20 minutes, the referees have had to rein us in a little bit here. Both teams really getting at each other here near the half-minute mark.
And I would say a little bit on FCY New York's number 19, Mohammed Saif. Just letting him know he's there, right? Because he just saw what happened to his teammate.
Chested down by Bromfield, but too many bodies in between him and getting the ball as it settled down. But a good job collecting here by his teammates. A lot of bodies forward here for Chantilly, but they're all in the same area. Shot from distance just sails up over the bar. Good look there from Slade. He's frustrated with himself as that one sails out for a goal kick. Made Andy Queen retreat back. but just a little bit over the target.
Just a little bit over, but I love to take it from that distance. Next time he gets that ball in that position, you're gonna see at least one, maybe two of the FCY New York defenders or middies move up, which is going to only open up the backside of the play the next time.
Headed forward there. Tahiri selling on a pass ahead, looking again for a teammate streaking through in pair in number 10, and he almost got through. Chantilly's found some gaps here in this FCY New York defense here these last few minutes. They are really pushing the defense side to side, but they pushed forward and created some space back behind them, retreating defensively. Strong play made there by Slabe, and he has been everywhere. Number 9 in black and red here. Kick forward from Flores, knocked down, taken by Slabe. He lost the handle of it there. Took a bad bounce, comes back far side. Bodies coming together, and a strong defensive play at the top of the box as it's knocked away there by Ahmed Mohammed. End-to-end action here. Really fast-paced match here. We've had about a half hour into it. 1-1 our score. Early goal from Adam Seif for FCY New York, answered by a beautiful individual effort goal by Troy Bromfield of Chantilly, as that ball is rolled out, unfortunately, for Chantilly for a New York throw here on the near side. And those balls that get on the track especially will likely pick up a good deal more moisture. We'll see if that affects this one coming back into play here to Shawish on the near side, and was played forward actually too quickly, so they will force Chantilly to reset here on the throw. Amatasser, number 11 here for New York, to throw back in.
Yeah, I think the throw in the original one, it was creeping a little forward. It wasn't really where that ball had gone out.
Trying to get it in quickly before the official had time to think of where it was. Amatasser, beautiful play forward here, gets back to Shawish. Into the box, bodies forward around a sliding man, and we'll see the referee will point to the spot. It's a penalty called here against Chantilly, and a chance here for FCY New York to retake the lead, and the appeals not likely to be heard there. Some frustrated defenders, the utmost of them Ahmed Mohammed, who is guilty of the infraction, as the referees will discuss here on the far side. But I don't think the linesman's going to see anything that will overrule our official right on top of that play.
No, FCY New York, I've been just noting throughout this game, really, the way they're connecting to each other's foot so well. I try to explain soccer to non-soccer people, and I say, rectangular game with a lot of triangles. So as we're watching it, I'm always trying to find the point of the triangle. I'm finding the backside of the triangle. That time, that point, boom, he hits it. He's in on his own.
There's a yellow card also as part of that is given to Ahmed Mohammed. But as you hear above us on the public address, no penalty given. It will be a corner.
Interesting. This is where
unless they're saying it's a yellow for a dive.
Well, we'd like to. Too bad we can't hear what the referees are saying on their microphones, right? It could have been a dive, right?
Given the fact they gave the ball to Flores on a goal kick, it would almost have to be.
Yeah.
So a reprieve for Chantilly. We'll try to get the number of the carded player for you when we can, folks. It's a foul on the far side here against Chantilly, and above that, regardless of the outcome of the card, the more important part is there is no penalty, and then that negates the danger that was created there off a beautiful rush forward by FCY New York. We'll see if they can get their offense rolling back here. As Shawish plays to the far side, ball is curled back in and headed away by Mohammed. Maybe the happiest of the 11 out there to not see that penalty come to fruition. Relentless at points here has been this New York offense. Mohammed again to that far sideline coming through, and we'll watch that one out for a goal kick. And extra life, especially in the boots there of number 6 here these last couple of minutes, as he successfully argued his case.
Yep, maybe Mohammed does moonlighting as a lawyer, perhaps, because he said something, and the side referee got involved in it, and he won his case. Unusual.
You do not see that very often, where there is a successful appeal of any sort like that. About 33 minutes gone by here in our opening half. Both teams with a good goal. We've seen a lot of chances both ways.
But, to be fair, Jeff, I'm watching it, and it's funny you had mentioned about the dive. I've seen some players, I'll say both teams, but one team a little bit more than the other, seems to be hitting the turf a little more frequently than I think is really called for.
We'll see that continues to be the trend here. What has turned into a rather physical contest. Makes it even that much harder to be policed by the green-shirted individuals out there here today. Andy Queen gets that one back, plays ahead, and that one's knocked out by Ali Mohammed, but recollected here by Chantilly. They have some players forward here in some space if they can find it. Nice play by Slave to capture that ball, goes back to the far sideline. Shot from some distance, and Andy Queen will watch that one take one hop in the orange and roll out the back for a goal kick.
So mentioning distance, that's not the distance that I like to see players take. It could have been maybe thinking that someone's going to just break onto the ball, but that's a little bit far for this level of competition. A keeper's not going to get beat from a ball that far deep.
And if he was trying to go for the pass a little bit too forward to even let one of his teammates run into it there.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have very, very good communication skills. Sometimes it's with the eye, sometimes it's with the posturing. I thought perhaps that's what he was trying to do.
That run is offsides on the far side. Third time we've seen FCY New York called for the offsides. They're getting some good speed and really trying to press the action forward almost to a fault at points. But I think they'd rather take the 3 offsides than relent in their mentality about attacking the defense here.
Yeah, many times I've broadcasted games where I said I would never, as a coach, tell my players do not be aggressive. You want them to stay on side, but you do not. The worst of the two evils there would be telling them to slow down. Let them keep pressing, and something's going to pop for your side when you do that, I believe.
Will be a throw here for Chantilly, fairly deep into New York territory on that far sideline.
And besides, it makes for good chatter amongst the fans who think, which side you're rooting for. No, that referee's blind as a bat.
Shot from the top of the 18-yard box, a bouncer out of the reach of Andy Queen and just wide of the near side post. You talk about the same shot we saw at the other end for FCY New York, looking for that back post and out of the reach of Queen, and much like its counterpart, did not miss the net by very much.
Not very much, and if Queen had gotten a hand on it, we'd been just saying what a beautiful stretch save that was. But now from the 18, that angle, you take that all day long.
Queen will take a second here to catch his breath after going to the turf before he resets us here on a goal kick. Left-footed drive forward across the midfield stripe is headed down, bouncing off some heads at midfield. Overhead pass knocked towards Bromfield there by Israel Perrin, number 10. Comes back here, Bromfield. We talk about an individual effort on his goal here early on. That equalized this contest. We've remained deadlocked at 1-1 ever since.
Jeff, both keepers tall, long, and I'm big on keeping that ball low and making the taller keepers really try to get down. It's much more difficult for them. Balls up chest high, waist high. Those are easy saves for those gentlemen.
I feel like so many of these taller keepers want you to challenge them, test how long they are and how much they can reach that ball across the net from them.
Yep, and I always say, make them taste the ground. Many times they do it. They're fabulous, but that's where that ball's going to sneak in.
Beautiful back heel pass towards Shawish, who was taken off the ball. Strong defensive play there by Akinwumi for Chantilly. Slave turning around, he gets tangled up, and a whistle is called, and Slave took a cleat there right on the back of that heel. Unintentional contact there from Whitman Hernandez for New York, but does not make it any less painful there for Slave as he takes his way back towards midfield.
Yep, and Hernandez and the center judge is just have a little talk. Hey, please let's be more gentlemanly out there. I'm sure something along those lines.
If this game stays as close-knit, contested as it has been, we will probably not see a downturn in the physicality of it, one would not think, as we head towards our second half. Deep in the first half action, it has only gotten up from the get-go. Beautiful play in midfield there by Diego Valdez, and he is contacted as another foul here against New York, and as the free kick slowly inches ever forward, that one was maybe 7 yards too far forward initially, before it is reset here back about 40 yards out of goal. long-distance set piece here for Chantilly. Low arcing ball into a sea of humanity, and it hits off a New York defender, and that is almost best-case scenario. It's another corner here, the 5th of the match that has been given here to Chantilly.
And really, Chantilly, I think, is the larger of the two teams, and bigger players overall, using their height to their advantage.
Slade knocks it back in. That one comes through some bodies. A big collision in the box. The shot from 20 yards out is blocked away. Still some players forward and some danger to be had. No one back there for New York to press the action the other way. Still fought for. Shoulder down, trying to get himself free is Bromfield, who gets collided with, and it's a foul on New York. Thought Bromfield might get called there for putting a good shoulder into the chest of the defender, but ends up winning the call there his way, and this will be a good spot for a free kick.
Yeah, Elabari just cannot believe that call.
This will be 20, 25 yards out of goal. Not the closest free kick we've seen today after the one given to Shawish from almost exactly 18 yards out.
Yeah, but I would think upper 90 right side, perhaps.
They've been going that way on Queen a couple times here tonight. We'll see if they can find a way around the wall. A couple players standing over it. Perrin's there. Bromfield's there. Bromfield will leave. Perrin will stay there with Muhammad. We'll see which of them takes it. Muhammad defers to Perrin, who drives it in and scores! Some motion on the free kick, and Perrin makes no mistake, and Chantilly has their first lead of the season here at 2-1.
Well, I predicted it exactly. No, I didn't actually. I predicted it wrong. Great shot to the left side, 90. But Perrin, coach's son, I'm sure coach is smiling out there. Perrin with just a beautifully executed shot. I don't know how much the crisscross really bothered the keeper, but I think it was really just the placement of the shot. Upper right, very, very tough to get to.
It's a picture-perfect shot. Got exactly what he wanted off of it. And Chantilly forever here, 40 minutes plus here into our first half, have a 2-1 lead. We'll see if FCY New York has some pushback here in the latter stages of our opening half as that ball's played out for a goal kick. And after a tough start, you wondered how Chantilly Forever FC would respond. What would the response be for a team coming in with some struggles early in the season? A lot of credit to that coaching staff and the players on the field here. They have responded very well here this last half hour.
Yes, I think Coach Perrin was very, very happy with how the fellas really just stayed together, stayed true to their game. They are a physical team. They do like to get it wide, as we see. This is what they do, and they do very, very well. Good for them. Their name, Chantilly Forever, it probably felt like forever before they'd get a lead in a game. And now we'll get to see how well they can handle that pressure, which is just a whole nother thing to learn.
1 goal in 2 games coming in, 2 goals in 1 half here today. It's a foul on the throw in there against Chantilly. Calling Shariki there for a grab of the jersey of the defender. Thrown back into play here. 42 minutes roughly gone by here in our first half, and as that number has crept closer towards halftime, it has been a better and better result. Nice effort forward there by Bromfield. A couple defenders on him, and if you've been watching with us the whole time, you can see that won't really stymie him at all, but not able to get too much on that shot as Queen will collect and roll ahead.
As I've said, been watching Bromfield for a couple of games now. Just impressive, physical, just tall young man, and he has one thing about him. He goes forward. And you better not get in his way.
A lot of space on that far sideline here for New York as they get that ball forward into the outside of the 18-yard box. Curled back inside, and a strong defensive play made there by Akinwumi, number 5 defensively there for Chantilly. As FCY New York, we've talked about their speed of points here today. They can get that ball up the field in a hurry. And what if just a little bit of a defensive misstep there on that far sideline? Felt like there was no one in black and red over there as New York pressed that ball forward.
No, New York had the two wings covered. I mean, not covered. It was a great defensive play because it was either you're going to knock it out of there or New York's going to have a very, very good opportunity to tie the game up.
Ghazali Mohammed turning it around now. Off the boot of Shawish, comes back here near his side, and Again, there is Akinwumi who plays it forward. Driven up the field there by Shariki. Defensively taken down here. Adam Seif, the goal scorer here for FCY New York, got our scoring started before a pair of answers from the home side. Shariki turning around there, fighting for position there with Muhammad. Ball rolling back to the near side, held in by Chantilly as they'll play forward to Slabe. We've called his name a lot here today, number 9. Surrounded by the white and red jerseys of New York and taken away from him. Albari. Back defensively there. Koa. New York trying to find some late offense here, see if they can't find a chance at an equalizer here before our halftime whistle blows. Back here to Seif. Ahead, that's one. Muhammad Seif back here to Adam Seif. Quickly back to that far sideline. We see New York trying to really press the action up that far side here these last couple minutes with some good results as Ali Shawish tries to get himself free and rolls out the back and will be a corner kick. Second of the half here for New York, and a chance here they scored their lone goal off their first corner. See what they can do here off their second.
So dangerous time for Chantilly forever with as you said, with FCY New York. They scored off their set piece. They know what to do. They know how to put it through there. They're going to hope to tie this up just before half.
Almantasser will stand over it from the far side. It was that off-ball movement here on that first corner that led to this goal as Almantasser sends it back, curling towards the back post. It gets through everybody and will hook itself back for a goal kick. Into stoppage time here now in our opening half.
With the number of bodies that went down.
Likely have a couple minutes. 2 to 3 minutes with the goals.
I would say that would be fair.
Not a huge hurry here for Braden Flores to get this ball back into play as he cleans himself off from that last dive to keep the ball away from goal. He's had to love the effort he's seen in front of him here these last now 35, 40 minutes. Play down, taken here by Adam Seif. One last chance here if FCY New York can get themselves up the field here, and we've seen that they can do so in a hurry. Yusuf Koa off the far sideline. They have really been attacking that far side of the Chantilly defense. Knocked down but taken away. Muhammad. His pass ahead just out of the reach there of Diego Valdez. And as that ball rolls out to the far sideline, the referee's halftime whistle blows. And after a tough start for Chantilly Forever FC, they find a pair of goals from Braunfield and Perrin. And they take a 2-1 lead here into our halftime. Chantilly 2, FCY New York 1 here. As we take a break here, back with first half recap and second half action here from Coyer Field here on the campus of Buff State University.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
300 Level Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you call on the Wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
There's nothing better than owning the perfect house to come home to. You've earned it, and we'll make it happen. Our local real estate experts and in-house team of financial professionals make buying or selling your home simple. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
I love being home. Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Do you insure a lot of businesses?
Yes, we do.
How about restaurants?
We got a bunch.
Do you cover property damage?
Yes, we do.
How about my equipment?
Covered.
How about sewer backup?
We got it.
What if my cook gets hurt?
They're covered.
Foodborne illnesses?
Covered.
What if my party tent goes down?
Covered under property damage.
And you say this is all under one policy?
One policy.
When do I pay?
Once a month.
Just one time?
Just one.
Is there anything you don't cover?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
31.
Tables. We don't do tables.
Gotta love Buffalo.
For all your insurance questions, call the Wolf at 835-WOLF.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Western New York Immediate Care's new locations are now open. Whether you've suffered a minor injury or just aren't feeling well, Western New York Immediate Care provides safe, quick, high-quality care at an affordable cost. Our clinicians are trained to diagnose and treat non-life-threatening injuries and illnesses and are equipped with on-site x-ray and labs to help you feel better, faster. With 4 convenient locations open 7 days a week, Western New York Immediate Care is here to help when and where you need us. Visit us online to learn more.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
Being home. Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
Back here with you, Coyer Field on the campus of Buff State College. Here just ready for second half action. 2-1 Chantilly Forever FC with a lead through 45 minutes of play. An early goal by Adam Seif for FCY New York had the visitors feeling like they were in control early on, but what a pushback it's been here from Chantilly. You wondered how they come in on the heels of a couple losses. They found themselves a couple of goals. Troy Bromfield, a great individual effort, and then Israel Perrin on a beautiful free kick have the home side up through 45 minutes of play.
Well, we know the Chantilly fans are excited for the second half. Hopefully they'll get there. They're hoping that they're going to get that first victory. And as you said, first 10 minutes looked a little looked a little discombobulated, and then they got down by a goal, but stayed true to form. A good sign for a club to be able to come back, and now they're in the catbird's seat, so to speak.
Switching ends here for our second half as we reacquiesce you with our broadcast. The visiting FCY New York, they're wearing the white uniforms with the red shorts and the red numbers on the back here today. They'll be shooting the net down to broadcast right in our second half, and Chantilly Forever FC in the black and red jerseys, black shorts with the white numbers on the back. Well, now they're shooting the net down to broadcast left. It is a bit of a slick field here today as our first whistle and our first foul of the second half. We'll see, I would guess, given how the first half went, quite a few more of those as the second half goes on.
Yeah, I think Bromfield was pretty much bodied out of the way, a little interference on the part of the defender there.
Well, Paul, you talked in the first half on the heels of his goal. Just really about the strength and the ability just for Bromfield. It's such a hard player to box out and prevent him from getting where he wants to go. On that goal with two defenders on him, still able to find just enough space to find that foot to put the ball through.
Yeah, the ball definitely had eyes on that shot.
Distance free kick here. We'll see what they do with it. Antonio Slabe has been very involved offensively for Chantilly, and he'll stand over it. Chips that ball towards the middle of the 18-yard box. Gets a friendly head to it there from the aforementioned Troy Bromfield, but it's out the back for a goal kick. Both goaltenders have had an early goal kick and some more discussions there between Andy Queen and one of his defenders who took a bit of a bump and is slowly back to his feet. Queen really on both those goals. It's hard to blame him for either. Two picture-perfect shots and about the only place they could have put them past him.
Yes, they were both great shots. You know, one thing we talk about a lot about soccer, people don't realize how physical this game is. They don't wear pads except for the shin guards, of course. But there is so much bumping of the upper bodies, clipping onto the ankles, to the foot. Soccer has got it's getting more popular, obviously, in the United States. But early on, people would think, oh, they're just running around there in shorts. Let me tell you, they're physical.
I feel like sometimes people just take the worst clip of an Italian soccer player diving. I think that's what is going on here all the time. But especially at this level, these men are out here and they are competing tooth and nail. And the things that don't get called as fouls in this game would scare some of the European fans, I think, sometimes.
Yes, when I was a neophyte, not even knowing about soccer, I'll share it sometime if we get an opportunity here, but I was watching a practice coming down Young's Road, driving. I'm looking over at a practice. Well, I'll finish it off real quick. I saw this player chase the ball down on the side. He flips in the air, spins, and actually kicked it back towards the goal. And I thought to myself, you're kind of self-righteous, Paul. That was one of the best athletic moves I've ever seen in any sport. And ever since I saw that, I realized how great of athletes these young women are.
And especially here in an area like Western New York, we talked about it a little bit off the air before we came on broadcast here today. It's been great to see levels of the sport grow. Teams like this continue to grow here in their presence in the Western New York area, giving more and more avenues, more outlets for these young men to continue to advance their careers forward in a professional sense. That ball rolls back slowly. It has been a very slow start to that. We'll see if FCY New York can get that changed, but a strong defensive play there by Akinwumi, number 5 for Chantilly, and his name hasn't been mentioned a ton, but he has been key to them, and Slabe takes a good bump there just past midfield, and these teams getting a little bit chippy here, Paul, in our second half.
Yeah, I think that was a little push by Save. Just a little I always call it a how you do, and then, of course, hands up. Hey, I didn't do anything.
Long drive into the 18-yard box, trying to get it to Bromfield. Queen comes out and punches it away, gets a second touch to it. He's well out of position, but a strong play made defensively. Queen inside the box by a hair, allowed to use his hands to collect in spite of the protest there from Chantilly. It's that same spot we saw that not penalty given as a free kick, just barely that time on the other side for New York, as that one rolls out the back and will be a goal kick.
That was a close play. I think the defender, I didn't quite see who he was. I think he realized he was safe just to pass it back to the keep.
I believe that was going to be Adam Seif, number 22, who was over there defensively. A kind of last-ditch effort to try to body block that shot away. Played short on the goal kick, and the pass forward is intercepted. Ali Mohammed to the far side. Mohammed Seif, his pass forward, trying to split the defense, but it's knocked away by Ahmed Mohammed, their number 6 defensively for Chantilly. Nice strong sliding play there. Ali Mohammed. His pass far side is taken away. Knocked up the field there by Bergamina. Rolling back towards Queen, well out of the box, and will escort it back in to collect and roll it forward. Just over 5 minutes gone by here in our second half. Chantilly holding on to their 2-1 lead. They enjoyed about the half-hour mark of the first half. That pass gets through, and a shot that will spiral away off the right boot of Maurice Channer, number 3 into the game here for New York.
And I think Channer was thinking, he wanted to get a better shot on net, but he just kind of spun out with his left foot a little bit, and that ball generally goes in the direction that you kick it, and that one did also.
New York has done a good job keeping Chantilly pinned back here in their defensive end, at least so far here in half number 2. Kind of like we saw in the beginning of the first half, was really all New York for the first 10 minutes, resulting partially in the corner kick that led to the only visitors' goal here so far. But since then, Chantilly has found some ways through the midfield and ultimately through the defense of FCY New York. Ball is played forward, taken down here by Shawish. Back here, Koa chasing to the near side, taps back ahead for Omar. You see Koa back to his feet. He took a bad spill there early on in our second half in the box on a play. That one's off a boot and will be just dragged and kept in there by Omar. Ball forward, a searching pass knocked down by Muhammad. The 2 center backs there for Chantilly here today. Muhammad and Akinwumi have been key to them keeping this lead and keeping just that 1 goal on the board for New York. I'll tap to the far side. Much back into that feeling out process here. Neither team wants to make the big mistake here to start the second half. Really could be one of those games where the next goal is the deciding factor. If New York can find an equalizer here, might be a race down the other way as a ball played forward here to Channer. Dragged back in the box, Channer to his left, pass across the front of goal, hits off the leg of the defender, off the post in front. It's still loose and kicked away. A second sprawling play, knocked over the bar by Flores. And somehow, some way, that ball doesn't cross the line. It's a huge defensive play, first by Akinwumi selling out to block it, and then Flores back to his feet, punches it clear.
Everything but the ball in the net. Wow.
You thought for sure for a moment there that ball was destined one way or the other. It was a scramble off a ball that hit off a defender and came back off the post at first. Flores, I don't think even saw it hit off the defender for a moment. Almost went in clean off of that, came back. Flores tried to dive and cover, and we have a Chantilly player who is still down from it here. It's Tahiri, number 18, who very slowly back to his feet. It'll be the 3rd corner of the match here for New York. They have scored on 1. And this will be their first look here of our second half.
I would recommend every Chantilly Forever player buy a lotto ticket today. You couldn't have gotten luckier than that.
Low arcing ball in is headed away from danger there by Bergamina. Here comes Chantilly, given a free pass to keep their lead. Sometimes the fate's just on your side, and that's a little bit of what you need, mayhaps, to get your first victory of the season is a little extra luck. The ball's played on the far side for a throw.
Well, that's so very true, Jeff. Some of the old adages, the soccer gods aren't with us. Sometimes it's the right person at the right time. I didn't quite see who was on the ground. He made a nice save himself.
It was Akinwumi, number 5, who made that save.
He was in just perfect position, but he had actually fallen down. But because he fell, he was actually in the right position. So sometimes you just need a little bit of luck, right?
I think back to what my uncle used to say when he was teaching me to play myself. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yes. Yes.
Another corner here for FCY New York. They're second in quick succession as the visitors keep pressing forward here, just shy of 10 minutes into our second half.
And in all seriousness, many games are won or lost by one play, something fortuitous, a great save by a keeper, or just something like that where you don't give up that tying goal.
This time a high arcing ball back to the back. Flores attacking it, punches it towards the top of the box, and a good job charging the play there and able to clear it out to the far side. Muhammad got a foot to it, but it will roll out for a throw here for Chantilly. Good strong play there by Diego Valdez for Chantilly as well, really forcing Muhammad's hand. All he could do was slide it out, try to stop the forward momentum, because had Valdez got by him, the majority of the near sideline was in front of him and unoccupied. We see players from both sidelines starting to do some warm-ups here. We will see how both coaches use their bench here in the second half in what has been a very tightly contested game that really, for no lack of effort for FCY New York, has remained a 2-1 game in favor of Chantilly. Talk about some bad bounces, but at the end of it, Paul, you mentioned, is a great save there by Flores just to punch that one over the bar. He was down as well, had to scramble back to his feet to even get to that ball that was destined for bar down. Knock back forward, Shawish in the middle of it all, trying to slide a pass through, and a great job there by Perrin, who's got the go-ahead goal, getting back to the defensive side of the ball to get his body in the way of that one, and right back on the attack on that far side. Here comes Chantilly, ball forward, looking for Bromfield, trying to run to it, but one too many defenders back to it. Knocked away from him by Koa, who will take it back here again on the pass forward from Queen.
Koa with a very, very, very smart play, right? Doesn't try to play with it, just knocks it back to the keeper. Positions himself in front of Bromfield. The more I watch Bromfield, the more I'm impressed with his ability to gain speed and to get himself beyond the defenders. Just a very, very nice player.
Ball driven up that far sideline, will settle down in front of its intended target. Able to work itself free, ball into the inside, gets away from Muhammad, gets away from everyone, and will roll out for a goal kick. Referee for a moment pointed towards the corner, but it did come through with no contact made and will be played quickly forward here by Braden Flores. 13th minute of our half, 58th minute of action here. 2-1 Chantilly, the score we took into our halftime, still the score here. Chantilly with a slow start offensively in the first half. They've had a bit of a slow start here offensively in the second half here as well. We'll see if they can find that same momentum like they did in the first half. Players all sorts of tangled on that far sideline. And this referee has let that one play on. Ball tap forward. Koa will slide it forward. Comes back near side again here for Omar. Omar. Back towards Muhammad, gets back to him. Shawish trying to split the defense, got tangled up and taken down. And it's a yellow card given as well to Tahiri.
So I've noticed, Jeff, FCY New York now has changed their formation. They had been going for, a 4-4-2. It looks like they know they have to get that goal. So now they've switched to more like a 3-5-2. That 5 is some sort of diamond, as I've said before. As we're watching the game, let's look for a triangle, see how they attack. They have to control that mid a little more, and they have to get a little pressure to get that ball, the equalizer in the net. They're willing to give up a little on the backside.
Ali Muhammad off the free kick, pass near side to Omar with a lot of space. Drives a low cross in that's blocked down. Ball bouncing back. Valdez will get to it first, trying to get it ahead to Bromfield. Bromfield, one man forward across midfield, trying to get through both defenders, but it's knocked away from him. We've called Koa's name a lot here in the second half. Another strong defensive play from him. Bromfield pass forward. Valdez trying to slide through. He would have been offsides had he even gotten to it. First time I think we've seen the offsides flag go up here against Chantilly today, as New York takes it back quickly the other way. Ali Muhammad, low cross forward, is met there by Ahmed Muhammad by Chantilly.
And, of course, Chantilly forever, they know one goal. That'll put us probably close to our target today, which is a victory, and get out of that loss column.
A lot of time yet to be played, but Paul, you have to think if they can get to 3-1 here these next 5-10 minutes, it would be quite a different play. There was a whistle called, and then Slade got pushed while on the ground, and that has drawn a crowd. And there's going to be a lot asked of our officials here now on that far sideline right by the scorer's table, and they're going to have to get these men separated. Slade took a good bump, and he has been bumped and bruised a bit here today, and it was the second bit of contact. He was trying to get himself off the ground. I didn't see the number of the player who gave him a good shove to the chest there, but it has drawn quite a conversation. Both parts of the field, all 22, have come to have a conversation, and all three green shirts quickly in there between them. We'll see what comes of this.
Kind of looks like a hockey scrum in that both keepers have come out and kind of pushed in, just let their teammates know that they're there.
Tempers flaring here. It has been a very physical contest, as we've talked about at length, but certainly this is the high water mark of that. And the referees will discuss here, and at least for now, they have seemed to have done a good job of separating the two sides.
No reds handed out, no yellows that I've seen yet.
Discussions to be had with the coaches as well. The Chantilly coaching staff getting their word in there. It did also happen right in front of the Chantilly bench, in front of both benches, truly. It has drawn some prolonged discussions here, about 15 minutes of action into our second half. We're going to change out for a fresh ball as well. They do get a bit waterlogged rolling over that turf time and time again. They've been doing a good job, the officiating crew has here today, of changing them out, getting them dried off, trying to keep the condition of the ball as neutral as possible. And what has turned out to be about as dry of a night as we could have anticipated given the forecast. That's not to say it isn't raining. It has been almost the entire time. You can see up in the lights there, but
we were expecting
maybe an inch of rain over the night, they were saying at points, and it hasn't quite gotten to that. I hope the announcer's jinx stays away from the weather. It's wet enough as is.
That's right. We have to drive home still.
So prolonged discussions still. Just to rewind here a little bit, it was a foul initially called right about the midfield stripe as Slade took a bump and went down. And as he was down, he took a shove to the chest from one of the New York players. And that was what started the whole fracas here. One of the teammates, I believe it was Muhammad possibly, who's still over there having some words, came in to defend his teammate, and that's when the other 19 players on the field decided to come in and join the discussion as well.
I thought they were playing cards, actually, just
exchanging Christmas card addresses.
Yeah, see where they can send their jersey after the game, exchange the jerseys. A lot of pleasantries were going on over there.
We talk about a lot of players that are growing up playing in the same area, so this may be the first meeting of these teams this season, but these are a lot of young men who are very familiar with the 11 dressed across from them.
That's exactly right. And who knows what school they had gone to, maybe the high school. There was rivalries, I'm sure, in college. And you know what? I think they're shaking hands over there. And a couple apologies, and we're going to get moving in another moment.
See the Chantilly players trying to keep themselves loose here. It is a little bit on the colder side, certainly. Not uncharacteristically cold for a Western New York spring day, but not the warm temperatures they may see in their summer league games as it goes on here. Couple of balls on the field as Chantilly will try to work to keep themselves loose. Still discussions between all the officials and players in front of the Chantilly bench. It's a long enough pause when the DJ brings back the mid-half music for the fans in attendance here today, who, unlike the players, don't have the luxury of running to keep themselves warm, you would think mayhaps at points here. They've huddled largely under the press box here at Coyer Field, trying to keep themselves out of the bleachers that have certainly at this point gotten a good drenching throughout the course of the day.
And that's a wonderful place to be during the weather. I've been here for many a game, and like our faithful fans below us, I've been below where we're lucky enough to be broadcasting from, and it's a good, safe zone from being outside of the weather.
Slade is over there a bit perturbed, and you wonder if he may have find himself out of this game, or at least penalized for part of the discussions here. It was a foul on him that he was the recipient of that started the whole discussion here.
We have not seen the ref. We have not seen anybody raise a hand with a card. I'm assuming if a player has been ejected, it will be a card.
There are a couple players who have been playing with a yellow, so it wouldn't even necessarily have to be a red card in all cases to send someone off. 2 yellows, I believe, given to both teams at this point. Muhammad frustrated, Slave frustrated. We have an unrelated substitution here, I believe, as well.
Might be a good move from the coach just to get a little different perspective on the field, lower the temperatures a little bit. And let's count up the players to make sure there wasn't something we didn't notice.
I see 10 for Chantilly, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for, not including the goalies, of course.
Yes.
For New York as well. So it looks like we're still 11 on a side. No one is disqualified as a result of the fracas. And also, maybe the most surprising part of it is that was originally a foul against New York, but they are getting the free kick off of it. So the referee has reset down the other way, and we are back to live action here. Little unplanned pause there in our second half action. We'll see these teams come back out quickly as a shot is rolled back and out of play for a goal kick. I always think back to my, not to completely derail the entire broadcast here, but once was calling a hockey game that had a 38-minute pause for a line brawl with no commercial break. And I'd like to thank the Buffalo Junior Sabres for preparing me for that moment. Fill a couple extra minutes.
You have to have a lot to read to bring in for that long of a pause.
Goal kick here for Flores, who sends it back towards center field. Shawish gets ahead to it first. It's played back forward, knocked down here by Perrin. Sends that ball searching for Bromfield. A little bit too much pace on it. Knocked down defensively and turned right back ahead. Mohamed Saif, pass across midfield, goes right back to Flores. The ball pinballing back and forth between the Chantilly goal line, and Flores will take his time here before collecting and rolling it back forward. About 29 minutes remaining here in our second half. We have not seen any goals after the 3 we saw in our first half. 2-1, Chantilly Forever FC leading the New York throw.
Jeff, I thought you had it just perfectly said, where for most of this half it seems a little probing. It's not that up and down, run it up and down style that we witnessed in the first half. But at a 2-1 score, we may see FCY New York just break out and start that hyperdrive offense that we witnessed in the first half.
Yeah, you wonder when they will go back into that speed. Maybe a little bit scared of the counterattack here early in the second half, not wanting to give Bromfield, give Perrin another quality look, a chance to stretch to a 2-goal lead. But that's the disadvantage of playing from behind, is at some point you do have to push forward to find any sort of positive result here today. That ball is driven back forward there. Ruganua, number 13 for Chantilly. There's Valdez, boxed in by a few New York players, but is fouled and grabbed in the process, so does well to win that ball forward here. Perrin will leave it back behind here. Muhammad quickly to that far sideline, trying to stretch that defense. Paul, we talked about it time and time again, really trying to use that horizontal passing, try to open up the middle of the defense, and they struggled to find good results from that early, but they did as the half went on in that first half to the 2-2 goals.
Yeah, I think they mixed a little bit of those philosophies with then just one runner going forward. They were able to hit. They were able to connect on that. A couple times they did that, and they held on to the ball in the final third, which led to the second goal. So we're seeing that right now, though, where they're just trying to get that one big strike.
There'll be a Chantilly throw coming up here deep in their own end. Both teams really, we had a little bit more pace going before that long pause here as well. It's almost like a soft reset of these teams. We've really slowed the pace right back down again to where we were coming out of halftime. A couple throws in quick succession there on that far sideline as well.
As you're watching, Chantilly with just number 11, Troy Bromfield up there. He's pretty much going to go, 1-on-2 with his skill set. That might be just right up his alley to be able to move that ball and get it in net.
Beautiful ball forward by Bromfield there. Boxed in, gets it through to Perrin. Now Valdez on the near side will try to will his team forward. Back to Perrin. Perrin near side, off his left boot, try to get it back inside to Valdez, but he's boxed in. It's taken away by New York. Bromfield has a 1-on-2 goal already here today, so certainly will not be shy of taking more of those chances.
And we're watching again New York just really good at connecting their passes, which is helping them at least get that ball out of their defensive zone.
Shuish, his ball forward on the outside shoulder of his teammate Ford, and Channer. Channer will let it go. Picked up here by Hernandez, curling ball back in, headed away from danger, back to Hernandez, chests it down, juggles it towards the end line, it gets away from him and is out for a goal kick.
If he managed to keep that ball on his foot, that was going to be a dangerous opportunity.
Smart play there by Channer as well, letting that go. He himself was offside, so if he had committed to that, it would have been another offsides, but wisely lets it go for his teammate, and they get a good look off of it. Goal kick here for Flores. Charging that ball back forward, one hopped on, headed on by Valdez. Perrin knocks it back up ahead, looking high in the air, trying to put it through for Wedderburn, who's on here now for Chantilly. The ball is scooped down for a throw on the far sideline. Under the tent for the substitutes and substituted players for Chantilly here today, other than the press box, really the only reprieve out there on the field for anyone from the elements here today. We'll see what New York can do here. They really haven't seen a lot of that torrid pace they showed at points in the first half. Changed the formation. They've changed the mindset, it appears, here as well, truly, and how aggressive they've been. Ball's knocked down in midfield, played back forward, looking for Perrin, but couldn't get through to him. Across the midfield stripe, Shawish will let it go. Taken and played on the far side by Mohamed Saif. Gets it back on the far sideline, now pressing forward. Saif towards the touchline, curls a ball back inside the box at a teammate there. Ball's knocked down, scrambling. Mohamed got a body to it, comes back for a shot, and a big save made by Flores. Headed back on, and Flores gets on the end of it. A couple of big saves here in the second half by Braden Flores to keep his team up a goal, as he will strut himself around here before throwing out here to the near side.
And perhaps that's going to be the save of the game by Flores. I mentioned before how you always are looking for your keeper to make one stunning stop. That was dead on. That was a tremendous save.
Shot from some distance taken there by Mohamed Saif, and that one is wide. Will be a goal kick. We have a New York sub coming on here as well, as both the coaches now truly towards the second half of our second half, trying to play their cards right, trying to find the winning combination for New York, making more changes up front, trying to find at second an equalizing goal.
Of course, to play devil's advocate, as I said before, if that same opportunity presented itself to FCY New York and you kept that ball on the ground, go for one of those posts, makes that stunning save much more difficult. But Flores, just a perfect save. Perfect, stayed his position, stayed square, got his arms straight ahead, and just had knocked that ball out. So kudos to him.
Game certainly being officiated a little more tightly here on the heels of that fracas about the 15-minute mark of the half. It's a push call on FCY New York that will allow a chance for Chantilly to push up the field here.
And we haven't seen as many slide tackles since that little fight.
Both teams getting, I believe, to put it lightly, a stern talking to in front of their respective benches here about conduct here.
Stern talking to, that's the dreaded word for young boys. And for medium-aged boys and old men like me, by our wives, we don't want a stern talking to.
Driven up there by Andy Queen towards the far sideline, trying to find a friendly head. It bounced away from everyone. Akinwumi drives that one back ahead. That will float out of bounds just in front of the Chantilly bench. Be a New York throw. FCY New York, for all their looks at goal, they've had two quality chances. Have not been able to crack through Flores and this defense here in the second half. Beautiful ball forward here for Valdez, just on the outside of the 18-yard box. Valdez feints to his left, drags it back here up top. Knocked down across. Going back towards Valdez, trying to work himself inside. That one's going to roll towards the end line. Contact there. It is going to be a goal kick. Valdez just couldn't quite get himself around, trying to at least force some defensive contact and win a corner there.
Yeah, I think it was number 2, Omar. Just great body position, great ball awareness, shielded the ball off so it could roll over the end line, and became just a simple play there. But just very nice tactics. And you know what? No pushing and shoving.
Slaves pass up the far sideline, looking to get it through there for Wedderburn, but he's depossessed. Comes back near side here for Koa. Koa up ahead. That one's headed on, trying to split the defense. That ball gets through. Taken through, coming out to charge is Flores, who punches it away, attacking the shot and making a big save there on Hernandez. Not letting that play come to him, going right out to the top of the box and forcing Hernandez's hand. Another big save for Flores, having himself quite a second half here.
Quite a second half. There was another game-saving or goal-saving play, falling backwards and making that stellar stop.
And not just getting hands to it, being able to control it enough to keep it from rolling back behind you and towards the goal line with really nobody back there. This will be a corner kick here for New York. That'll be their 5th of the match, 3rd of the half. Just over 20 minutes remaining here in half number 2. Corner from the near side. Taken. Left foot across high towards the back of the box. Bicycle kick attempt is blocked. Got a boot to it, but too many bodies in the way. It's played out on the far side, taken well up the field here by Akinwumi. It was still up the field and will clear it up ahead, allow his defense to reset, keeps it in play, and will send New York back scrambling for it. Strong defensive play all around by Akinwumi. A little bit winded there at the end of that run. He's put a solid 70 minutes in here today as number 5 in black and red. Mohamed Saif on the near side, right back on the attack. That pace coming through from New York here now. Hernandez drags it back to his right side. Thought about a shot, had nowhere to put it. Pass back towards the middle of the box. Nobody home on the end of it. Split the difference of 4 teammates coming through on runs. And that will allow Chantilly to clear, but it feels like the pressure has been ratcheted up here by FCY New York. They are throwing it now down at Flores. Defensively as well, the defenders for Chantilly really pressured here. Flores lost the handle of it. Ball comes free. It's punched around and cleared out of danger. And Flores lucky not to be called for something there. Thought he might have grabbed onto the forward there and questioned Hernandez.
Yep, I think he sidestepped that one. I guess in that case, the tie goes to the keeper.
Shawish able to hold it in far side. Gets back to a beautiful bit of footwork by Shawish. Ball still loose in his feet. Akinwumi gets back to it. The referee's whistle has blown, and it is a foul, I believe, or it was a goal kick, mayhaps.
I think you're right. It's a foul. Player, I didn't quite see who it. He was still on the ground reaching
Shawish,
for it.
number 7 for New York, who's going to take a piece of Akinwumi and is still trying to work himself back to his feet here now. Chantilly has been really pinned back here. This is the most we've seen New York really control the pace of play since the early part of the first half. But needing the equalizer, they've really got to start throwing everything they can here now. It's about 18 minutes of action between us and the 90th minute.
And now Chantilly is, well, they're 4 across with 1 right in the center, but a lot of times they're 5 across. There's not a lot of room in the middle of that field. Although, as we've seen, FCY New York, they are very good with foot-to-foot play, and they send 2 or 3 people. They've been doing that now for the last 5 minutes, so they're putting on that pressure. So it's really going to be up to the Chantilly defenders to stay in position, close up the gaps, and not get run behind.
Be a free kick here for New York, just past the midfield stripe.
We're not asking a lot from the defense here, are we?
They've had some interesting looks and some good plays off these set pieces. Not hard to take direct, obviously, from this point, but we'll see if they can create some sort of build-up here. A lot of space to be had. They've almost conceded, really, the next 15, 20 yards, as we do see a sub coming here for Chantilly. As at the end of a good game for him, Antonio Slade will be substituted off.
It's a great way to put it, though, but they're giving up the midfield so that they can have more defenders back.
Some Data, number 17, who will check in here for Chantilly. As we will set here. Ball's taken shortly here to Ali Muhammad. Muhammad will chip that ball back in, try to get behind the defense, but Flores reads it well, gets on the end of it, and will collect with little issue.
Nice little set play there. I liked it a lot.
That ball booted forward by Flores. Bromfield got a piece of it, now gets more of it, trying to work himself free, gets taken down in the process as the ball's working away from him. Try to split that ball beautifully placed between the defenders, and another nice play there by Akinwumi. He has been key here for them in the second half. But his pass forward hits off a teammate, comes back into the box. Muhammad trying to work himself free. More help there defensively from Perrin getting back, and at least for now, Chantilly will clear it away from danger. Bromfield. Tahiri. Back near side. Ruganurwa. His pass had read well, intercepted there by Omar. Ali Mohammed. Intercepted by Perrin. Neither team wanted to hold on to possession here in the midfield. On the far side, see maybe some space here to pursue forward here for Bigermina. Akinwumi pass up the far side. That one rolling away and out. But will be a throw last off of New York on the far sideline here. A throw for Chantilly. Another sub coming on here for FCY New York. Both teams starting to empty their benches here in the latter stage. Just about 15 minutes of action before our 90th minute here.
We're watching FCY New York. They can, we've mentioned many times how they are so good foot to foot. They are also tremendous at putting the ball between defenders on the ground. That's not an easy task, where you want to push it between a defender, but you don't want to push it so far that it rolls to the keeper. And that we've watched the last 10 minutes where FCY New York is very, very dangerous that way. And to your point, Chantilly, good job building it up, holding on to that ball. You just got to burn some time.
Any stoppage, any extra throw. The clock is their friend in this half, holding that 2-1 lead.
That's right. That's where, you slow down on things when you're up like this.
Trying to see if they can't ride this 2-1 victory out. The third goal would be nice, but not necessary for them at this point. Played ahead by Omar. Beautiful pass forward and a good job getting back. And we've seen Israel Perrin, number 10, who had the goal, really show his defensive abilities here as well in the second half. Does a great job tracking that ball and knocking it out for a throw.
And you know the saying, when in doubt, knock it out. Set your defense. You can account for every player, man up on whoever you're supposed to, and play tight.
Overhead clearance, beautifully done, and knocked out there by Valdez. Gets forward here from Wenendeta. Sliding in, trying to get it away. Picked up here, Mainagano. There's a foul on the far side. Played back quickly. Shawisha's shot is blocked. Comes back for Omar. Looking back for a teammate that will roll out for about as deep of a throw as you could ask of Chantilly on their own end here. Just shy of the corner flag. And again, like you mentioned, no real need to rush back here for Chantilly.
Nope. Clock's your friend right now. Just take your time.
Ruganurwa will go picking off the track. Drying off a little bit. See if he can't kill more time with about 13 minutes of action remaining.
If you're on the FCY New York side, you're saying, come on, Mr. Official, call it for a slowdown. But it's part of the gamesmanship of this game, right? We all been there. We've seen it both ways. We love it when it's us. We hate it when it's them.
That one rolls out near side again. Another throw coming up here, this time, though, for New York from a dangerous spot up the field. Omar will defer.
You can watch each player trying to dry that ball off with his jersey.
Trying to get a good grip on this throw, and that one may have still got out of his grasp a little bit. It's shy of its intended target and played up the near sideline by Bromfield. Goes to one knee to slide that one ahead. Wenendeta trying to work himself free up forward here. Some extra legs off the bench here for Chantilly in that part of the field. The one gets through. Perrin trying to get himself back. That's played and would have been offsides regardless.
Still like the effort. Like the effort. Another nice pass.
You're going to have to try to take some more of those chances here as the half goes on. Time is ticking away from FCY New York. Took the early lead, not even 10 minutes in. Off a corner kick, a little bit of chaos in the defensive zone. They've had their looks certainly here in the second half, but have been stymied by good defense. They've been stymied by a couple of really nice saves by Braden Flores.
And one by the soccer gods that said no.
Still a bit missed that ball did not find its way in one way or the other. But
they're going to regret it, right? At times there's just nothing you can do but, play on, put it behind you.
There's a yellow card given rather unceremoniously, I believe, to Data, who has just come on here for Chantilly.
That's probably about the 5th yellow.
I believe it's 3 against Chantilly and 2 against New York, assuming there were none given for the fracas on the far side, which we did not see raised at all. We have free kick here for New York, just under 11 minutes away from the conclusion of our 90th minute. Ali Mohammed. That one is tapped back, driven ahead into the box. It hits off a leg, but is cleared away from the top of the 18-yard box there by Ruganurwa. And Bromfield and Perrin, we see them forward for most of the match, now truly dropping back to more midfield defensive roles here as well. That one is blocked, a clearance attempt out the back, and that will be a corner kick. And a chance here for New York.
Another dangerous ball.
They've had some good looks on top of just that one goal they scored from the corner, their first corner of the match at that. They've had a lot of good looks here. We'll see what they can do here. 10 minutes to work with for the visitors. Down a goal. We do have a substitution here for Chantilly that will give the taker of the corner a little bit of an extra time here to pause and think about what he wants to do with it here. Fresh legs here for Chantilly forever. Now signal back in for the corner. From the far side, high arcing ball towards that back post is headed away, and that will roll out for a throw.
That's a fortuitous roll.
It's Dexter Hamilton, number 19, who was the most recent addition here to the live roster for Chantilly. The ball is thrown forward, hits off a couple of heads, bouncing toward the end line, and they thought about letting it go. Would have been less off Chantilly. I think that ball's crossed back into a dangerous spot. Couple of New York players together to it. High volley by Mohammed. Knocked down. Played it a couple touches forward by Adam Seif. Gets away from Omar. Omar. Nice play to get himself away there from Data. Ball forward into the box. Knocked down by Koa, but right into the grasp of Braden Flores. And he'll be happy to see that one come in after some of the ones he's had to lunge for here in the second half.
That's for sure. A little hesitation on FCY New York's behalf. They looked over to the side to see if they were onside, and that little bit of half a second really kind of messed with their offense. But, you know, as I'm watching this game, again, kudos to Omar, the defender. But that guy's just a compact player, really tight, great footwork.
Bromfield trying to work it forward, trying to at least press the line back a little bit here. There's a tough collision. Referee was playing advantage for a moment, and he will now add Bromfield to the book there for that challenge. We talked about not seeing a whole lot of sliding challenges here in the second half, and that's the first one I remember seeing, and immediately gets carded for it.
You know what? Because they're not going to allow the game to get out of hand any longer, and the players just have to recognize it, know what they have to. They know what they have to do, but they just can't. You know, either side. You just can't lose your head for emotion. You have to be smart.
Caution to the win time here for New York with about 8 minutes remaining. 4:90 would have gone us by. 82nd minute of play.
Chantilly has 8. They have 9 people strewn across about what is the American football 20-yard line, 15-yard line in between there.
They're trying to make New York break through with vertical passing instead of the horizontal passing there. There's no side-to-side to be had. Omar plays towards the end line, and that's out for a goal kick. And exactly what they were hoping for. They're forcing the action even wider, and then it rolls away from them.
You know, so isn't it funny where we always talk about the width of the field, width of the field, width of the field. Right now, Chantilly is willing to give the width as long as they can stay compact and in place in the middle and limit the number of opportunities for a goal against.
Driven up there by Perrin, who takes the kick forward. But he's depossessed and some space to be had here if New York can get up quickly. Good job by Mohammed getting back defensively, lost the edge of it. Ball is still loose in the box, scrambled for. Back heel chance by Flores. It's off a defender in front, and they score. Flores comes forward, and finally the luck has run out for Chantilly. That one does find its way through, and New York in desperation moments have equalized this game at 2-a-side.
Just a big scramble. Keeper lost the ball, slipped, falls, And, New York gets that ball in space. They're not going to miss that. They just walked it right in, made no mistake about it.
It's a valiant effort by Akinwumi. On the line, Mohammed as well, and Flores all trying to scramble off a turnover. And now you wonder if there will be a winner here today. 6 minutes and some change remaining before the 90th minute concludes.
Well, I would say I'm pretty sure FCY New York's going to stay in that attack mode. It'll be interesting to see now how Chantilly forever decides to break out on their defense a little bit, push another person forward.
There's another foul.
Or would they be just willing to settle for trying to play defense and get that 2-2 draw?
Chantilly forever all but parking the bus there. Talk about 9 across. There is a hoping they don't score against us kind of mindset there with about 7 minutes left. And can you flick that switch back and get yourself back attacking? We haven't seen a whole lot of offense from Chantilly forever here in the second half. It has been New York controlling the pace of play, and finally there with just minutes left in the second half, finding the second and equalizing goal.
Just a great game by the keeper, too. And unfortunately there, I think he slipped and just, gave up a big net wide open.
Degano. Hernandez back near side. Going back towards Hernandez has some teammates at the top of the 18-yard box. Distant shot is blocked. And just turning his back to that one is Tahiri to knock it away from danger out far side for a throw. And like you mentioned, Paul, it looks like New York is really just pushing forward here now, seeing if they can play the ultimate spoiler to the home side here and find a third to take maybe a last-second victory. Played forward by Omar. That one is destined for the end line. It'll be a goal kick.
I didn't see the Chantilly defender, but on that last shot, Saif, he just, you knew if he got a clean shot, that was going to be a perfect strike.
He had it squared up beautifully there, but one body in the way. Knockout shy midfield against field. It's been forever now since Chantilly's even had the ball across the midfield stripe in possession. There's another collision there and another discussion and another yellow card to be given. And a tough collision over there as well. Didn't catch the number of the New York player who was down grabbing at that right knee. Another near knee-on-knee collision. We've seen a couple of those here today.
To your point earlier, Jeff, I don't know how many of the players right now on the field for Chantilly have yellows. But
I believe that's at least got to be the fourth, you would think.
They have to be extremely careful how they defend now, because some folks won't realize what we're referring to. 2 yellows equal a red, and that's an ejection.
Playing a man down here with how New York's played, with the pace and spacing they've had, would be very difficult here, if only for a few minutes. They go with the set play off the free kick, trying to play it off the far sideline, but the pass just gets away from its intended target. Will be a goal kick. And you wonder how much of a hurry here Chantilly will be to get the ball back into play here these final 4 minutes of action here in our second half. Certainly will be disappointed if they can't take a victory here today, but you wonder if they think that they don't have the offense here to find a victory, maybe playing for more of a tie here. If they get the offense, they get the offense, but we haven't seen it here in the second half. Ball is forward and knocked ahead here by Wedderburn. He retreats, gets another header to it. Ball intercepted. Turn ahead. Mohammed knocked down by Perrin ahead, trying to send one in data forward. He gets around one man and has some space here now offensively. One man on an island offensively, waiting for some teammates to go forward here, and finally is depossessed by Omar, getting back to his defensive positioning.
Yep, Omar just came and just took that ball right off his foot.
Ball forward, searching for Perrin, one man with 2 targets to mark here. Knocked down and taken here by Nagano, and his shot is blocked. Comes out for a corner, and a chance here for FCY New York. Trying to take this one away late on what could be maybe lucky number 7 in the corners here for the visitors.
Chantilly really just has to man up, know which man is yours. Don't get sucked around because you see the ball, you think you're going to get it. Stay with your man. Play defense, clear this ball out of here.
Almontasser will take it again as he has all night long from this side. Left-footed entry into the box to the back thereof. Gets over almost everybody. Is flagged down and kept alive here, but offsides, I believe, is Degano. Will be a free kick here for Chantilly. Played up towards center field, and really just white jerseys there to flag it down. Just a momentary reprieve, and right back on the attack here comes Mohamed Saif. Off a boot, comes back towards him. Full head of steam will knock it down inside the box. Saif tees up a teammate coming in. That one's knocked away. Back towards Saif, headed out towards the sideline and out of play. Just minutes, really at this point almost just down to seconds remaining here before 90 minutes have gone us by. Ali Mohammed. Omar towards the end line, curls that ball back in, but nobody to it, looking for someone to break free and did not find a target, and also is down back behind the play. It's out for a throw as the final whistle blows. FCY New York finds one and very nearly finds a second here in our second half. But the final score will read 2-aside. Chantilly will be disappointed to see the victory escape them, but do take something positive, certainly, to say, Paul, away from the game here today and how they responded to early adversity.
Yeah, you know, as a club, I think that's the biggest thing you got to take away, that you've made positive steps. You were able to get more of your core players out on the field. They really played their hearts out. They played a tough offensive foe in FCY New York, but you can't lose sight of, okay, we got that draw. Now we're going to come out and get a win, and we're going to start setting the table for later on in the season for ourselves by one game at a time. You know, I hate to say it, Bill Belichick, one game at a time.
Well, they're on to the next one.
And that's what you really need to do in sports. So kudos to Chantilly. Played a nice game, much tighter game than we've seen. FCY New York, wow, it'll be fun to watch.
A lot of offensive firepower and speed to be had there. With the draw, FCY New York moves to 1-1-1 on the season, and with the draw, also Chantilly to 0-2-1 on the season, with plenty of that schedule still ahead of those teams. Paul, thank you so much for hanging out here and calling the game here with me tonight, and thank you everyone for joining us here. Again, your final score is Chantilly 2, FCY New York 2. Everyone have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon.
Life can be full of surprises, but not always the good kind. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care, and we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today.
With exclusive buyer insights and our 100% money-back guarantee, we're confident we'll find buyers for your home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.